Five motivational techniques that will help you to bounce back in tough times. I wanted to know this, guys. Everybody has obstacles and barriers to reach the top. You know my own story. I went through depression and anxiety. I failed in my 12th standard, and then passing from 12th standard and becoming a faculty at IIM Bangalore, achieving success and work with so many celebrities. It was a challenge. I'm going to teach you exactly what I did during my 10th standard, during my 12th standard exams after failing and getting a distinction. So what I did is what I'm going to teach you today. Okay. So have a look at this before I talk about me. Mahatma Gandhi, how many times did he fail before he got India independence? He got jailed, he was hate by people, there was Jallianwala Bagh, there was killing of Bhagat Singh, so many challenges, but the man never gave up. There were challenges, ups and downs, but he didn't give up. Look at this, Vilma Rudolph. When she was a young girl, she had a very rare kind of leg disease. They said it was most likely polio. And most people cannot even walk when you have polio. But the polio was mild and there was a chance for her to bounce back. And when people have polio, your dream could be that someday you should be able to walk. Her dream was someday she should be the fastest runner in the world. And believe me, she won 2 Olympic gold medals. A girl who had polio goes on to become the fastest runner in the world. Now that is motivation. How about this? Amitabh Bachchan. How many times he was rejected? When he came to become an actor, he was rejected. He went to do the movie Coolie and he got hit on his kidney. He was in coma for 6 months. In 1995, he lost a lot of his money and he had a lot of debt to pay, but the guy kind of kept bouncing back, and that's Amitabh Bachchan. Sachin Tendulkar, and how many such examples I can give you? This guy was young. He went to play cricket for the first time in Pakistan. The ball came and hit him on his face. He was bleeding. And guess what? He still went on to score 50 runs and became the youngest player in the world to score 50 runs in test matches. He had a back surgery. He had a tennis elbow. At 36, people said he should retire, but he went on to score 200 runs in ODI and created world record. This is what we talk about people. Listen, problems and challenges are a part of life. Like day and night go together. The opposite of day and night go together. Good and bad go together. White and black go together. Husband, wife go together. They are all opposites. Just like that, success and failure go together. And every time you have difficulties and challenges, remember, you haven't failed. The situation was such that you could not get the best. Learn from your mistakes and move forward. That's the way to go. Having said that, I will tell you what I did in my life when I was down. It was bad, it was dark, it was depressing, it was sad. I did not have an idea how I'm going to bounce back. But life can really change when you have tools and techniques. And I want to teach you tools and techniques. Use your pen and paper, start making notes. Let's get on with it. Technique number 1 today. The technique number 1 I want to teach you is called W is equals to MTWTFFS. You can make a note of this. And keep those videos on, guys. Keep the videos on. Let's keep the interaction going. Let me see your reactions as I do the session. Okay. W is equals to MTWTFFS. One of the most profound techniques I learned when I was in school, I was in college. And this technique was basically used by a company called Samsung. Samsung was a company which did not have too many resources in the year 1960s and 70s. Companies like GE were doing very well and Samsung wasn't. They were not even cash rich. Of course, today they are a very, very rich company. But I remember in those days, everybody who was in Samsung had a lot of passion to make their country succeed. Koreans, right? They are Koreans. And they really, really, really wanted to do well. So what did they do? Every person in 1970s who had a job, they said that we will work hard for our future generation, so that our future generation, our next generation can have better quality of life. And how did they work? They used the technique called W is equals to MTWTFFS. There was another technique they used, which is called as O is equals to W is equals to O. I'm not going to teach you that technique. I'm going to teach you one of them. Have a look at this technique. This is what they said, and this is what they did. All the Koreans did this. Technique was called week is equals to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Did you see that? There's no Sunday here. Week is equals to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. What does that technique really mean? Well, we're talking about a country, we're talking about the world where people work for 5 days. They study for 5 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, Sunday is off. I think in your country, Thursday and Friday is off, or I think Friday and Sunday is off. I'm not sure. But 2 days are off. But in 1970s, everybody in Samsung said that we get a job, we work for 6.5 days a week, not 5.5 days a week. We will only take, or not a 5 days a week like Americans do. They said we'll only take half-day week off. And they were working for 6.5 days. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And their Saturday was considered as Friday because they were working full day. And then they didn't have a Sunday, which is a full holiday. And they had a Saturday. Saturday was a half a day. This is beautiful. 6.5 days a week. Yeah, there is no Sunday there. What am I trying to say? Guys, until the next 2 or 3 months, I mean, for the next 2 or 3 months, until your exams get over, forget that you have a holiday. Forget that Friday's a holiday or Sunday's holiday. I'm not sure which one. Just forget that there is a holiday that exists. Right now is not the time to discuss about holidays. You just don't have time. You just need to create your passion, create your destiny by taking the decision and say you're going to give your 100%. The only holiday you have, the only break you have is the 10 minutes break after your 50 minutes of studies, which I taught you on day number 1. That's it. That 10 minutes off, then that 10 minutes off, and the next 10 minutes off, and you're just moving along. Or you're playing with your parents in the evening, that's your time off. Or you're having food, that's your time off. Or you're doing exercises, that's your time off. But for next 3 months, there is no time for Netflix. There is no time for TV. There is no time for marriages. There is no time for birthday parties. There is no time for friends and things like that. You just cannot afford it. Zero. You just can't afford it. I repeat, zero. The only time you should give is yourself. Time to yourself in silence and solitude, time for music, time for studying, time with parents to play, time to sleep. Remember, I told you yesterday, 1/3 of the time can be used for studies and for being with your parents. That is 6.5 hours of sleep. And if you sleep before 12 o'clock, every hour before 12 o'clock, you get an extra hour of rest. So sleep by about 10 o'clock. So you get 10 to 12, you get 4 hours of rest. Continue sleeping until 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock. That's your choice, and get back to work. Rahul, is there any shortcut? No. Are you sure? 100%. Next 3 months, no shortcut. Time to study. Every moment goes into education. Will it not create a lot of pressure on me? No. Meditation is there, exercise is there, family time is there, food time is there, 10 minutes break is there, music is there. You will only get better and better. Trust me, you will. What food do you eat? Well, it's very important. You don't eat heavy food. I told you 3 hours before you go to sleep, no food. Just stop the food 3 hours before you go to sleep, or have only little water, maybe a little juice if you want to, but nothing else. That way your body, your energy, your concentration, your focus will improve. And this new technique, W is equals to MT, WTFFS, 6.5 days a week. So Rahul, what do I do with that half a day? That half a day, which is your holidays half a day, if you want 3 hours, you can take a break. You can watch maybe TV for about 30 minutes in a week. That's it, max. Yeah. Maybe you want to play with someone. Maybe you just want to sleep a little extra. Maybe you just want to chill out. Maybe you just want to go out somewhere, go shopping. That's fine. But only 6.5 days, which means only half a day in a week. That also only if it's required for 3 to 4 hours, not otherwise. Tough one? Of course, yes. But then remember, if you don't really prepare for the toughest one, you can't be a world champion. You can't be an Olympic champion. You can't be a cricketer or a football champion if you're just going to while your time away. Technique number 1, I hope this made sense. If yes, go for it. Do I drink Red Bull before sleeping? Terrible idea. If you drink Red Bull, you'll never get good sleep at all, because the idea of Red Bull is to keep you awake. That's caffeine. So just no Red Bull at all. I used to drink 2 Red Bulls before going to stage to perform. But later I realized that even that's a bad idea, because it pumps in a lot of extra energy, but it kind of spoils the balance of your chemicals in the body. So it's not a good idea. Okay, let's go on to the next technique. The next technique that I'm going to share with you is called, become cool. Now, this is something which I wanted to use in technique number 5, maybe since this is already there, let's just go ahead and do this. Become cool. Okay, so how do I share this technique with you? I'm going to take 2 people in this one. I can see Varun's father there. Hello, sir. Good to see you there. Thank you very much for being. I can see Vijay's father there. Thank you very much for being there. Parva, I'm going to have you and let's say Rishikesh. Okay. So Rishikesh and Parva, I'm just going to share a story with 2 of you as an example on how to keep yourself going now during these times. Okay. Have a look at this. So Rishikesh and Parva, we're just giving you an example, okay? So let's say that these two guys are writing the 12th standard examination with a perspective that they want to study in a very, very cool college, a college where they can try and become cool. Who doesn't want to be cool? Everybody wants to be cool. You want to look cool, you want to feel good, and all of that. So let's presume, okay, it's just a story, okay, just a story share with you. So let's presume that both of these guys finished the 12th standard examination and now they want to get into college. And a good opportunity for you could be a Jain University or any other university which you feel is good. So let's say some university. And as boys, they want to be in a place where there are a lot of girls as well, right? So all of you above 16 years of age, I guess, or 18 years. So let me share the story. So Rishikesh goes to his father. He says, Dad, I finished my 12th standard. I want now to go and study in the coolest college in the country or in the world. So where do I go? I say, okay, go to India and go to any place you want. So let's say he comes to Jain University, example. So as he comes, he says, Dad, I'm in the university. I want 5 lakh Indian rupees. Dad says, 5 lakh for what? He says, Dad, come on, don't ask me questions like that. I want to be cool, Dad. A nice bike, mobile phone, cool, nice clothes and whatnot and glasses and stuff. Dad is rich. He says, okay, beta, take the money, go. So now Rishikesh, where is Rishikesh? Put Rishikesh and Parva on the spotlight. So what happens now? You have Rishikesh who gets on the bike and he gets onto the bike, rides his bike, comes to the college, gets off his glasses, gets off the bike, and all the girls look at him and says, oh my God, such a cool guy. Look at Rishikesh, he's already smiling up with his hand around. So Rishikesh has become cool. All the girls are around him. Now Parva goes to his father. Parva also wants to be cool. He goes to his dad. Dad is a very strict man. He says, Dad, so what? Dad, I mean, I've joined college. I want 5 lakh rupees. What? 5 lakh rupees. For what? Dad, I want to be cool. You bloody fellow, you have any idea how much money I've paid for your education? 5 lakh rupees, you want to become cool? I'll give you one shot on your face and make you hot. Parva is like, oh my God, I don't know. Dad is very strict. Doesn't really matter. He also joins college. Now, Rishikesh, every day in the college, all the girls are with him, says, Rishu, baby, let's go for a coffee. And Rishu's like, whoa, Rishi, baby, movie. Oh, Rishi, baby, this and that. And Rishi is all completely set to be cool. And he's the center of attention. Parva does not have any friends. I mean, he does not have any money and therefore he's not going out with too many people, but he goes and attends his classes. He attends inter-college competitions. He's building himself up for the future. He is also preparing for his exams. Now, Rishikesh and Parva are both preparing for the exam. And guess what happens, ladies and gentlemen? Rishikesh, with all his distraction, writes his exams and gets himself 45% marks. Whoa. Parva, with no distraction, writes his exams, gets 95% marks. And the story continues like this for the next 3 years of the degree. Rishikesh is becoming cool with all the girls around him and all the distractions and movies and whatnot, bunking and whatnot. Parva is focusing on his education and he is building himself up. And now these two boys write the final examination. Rishikesh gets 45 to 43% now. He's gone down. Parva's got 98% with inter-college competitions and whatnot and lots of certificate courses. And now both of these guys want to go for the MBA exams. They go to IIM Bangalore to write the CAT, Common Admission Test, and Rishikesh's cat goes to dogs. Parva makes it through. Rishikesh somehow gets into some small college here and there, and he gets a job too, a job worth 40,000 rupees a month. 40,000 bucks. Oh my God, that's quite a bit, isn't it? Now, Parva writes his exams into CAT and he gets a job worth 4 lakh rupees a month. Oh boy. Now, all the girls are still with Rishi, but now is the time to get married after a few years. And all the girls' parents are with Parva saying, will you get married to my daughter? Because everybody wants to get their son married to, the daughter get married to someone really special who is doing well. Parva, unmute. Rishikesh, unmute. I want to ask you both a question. Guys, can you unmute, please, Saurabh? Can you allow them to unmute? Parva, in this story, who really became cool?
Me.
You became cool or Rishikesh became cool?
Well, I guess I became cool.
Rishikesh, what do you think? Who became cool in reality?
So Parva became cool in reality.
Love it. You yourself said it. Yeah, in reality, it was Parva. Yeah, I wanted to know this, guys. Becoming cool does not mean what is there in the outside. Doesn't really mean that you have a good hairstyle and good clothes and good bike and stuff. That's not going to make you cool. Nelson Mandela, Mahatma Gandhi, Mother Teresa, Sachin Tendulkar, Narayan Murthy, all of these guys were not good looking. But then they really went on to become champions of the world, not because of what's there outside, but what's happening over here in the brain and what's happening here in the heart. That's really what made them successful. That's really what made them being adored and loved by the world in general. Why? Because they knew that real being cool is not outside, is real being cool is inside. And that's the message to all of you today over here. You are youngsters and you can have distractions. And my message to everybody is, guys, come on, wake up, wake up, wake up. The next 3 months, next 4 months is the time of your life for you to become cool. And becoming cool is really for you to understand the importance of your education. Becoming cool is about safety, security, and future that has to be taken care of. Becoming cool is being at your best and making sense out of a career. Becoming cool is becoming absolutely capable to contribute not only for yourself, your family, but the nation and the globe as well. And you have the potential. That's my message for you. Every time you don't feel like studying, you get distracted, you feel like taking a phone, you feel like watching TV, you feel like being on Instagram, ask yourself, what is the real meaning of being cool? And make the right choices. For the choices you make today will determine what you become tomorrow. 2 techniques. Technique number 1, W is equals to MTW TFFS. Technique number 2, become cool. Technique number 3, scare yourself. Like yesterday, somebody was asking me, Rahul, what do I do with studies? What do I do with subjects which are very tough for me, which I don't understand or which are difficult for me? Somebody said chemistry yesterday. Look, I was a science student. Now, let me give you a background of my education and how I messed it up and how I bounced back, okay? So let me take a few minutes to explain this to you. Technique number 3. Look, I was a school captain. I studied in St. Joseph's schools in Bangalore, and I was my school's vice captain. I won in the election. I was a very extremely good all-rounder, and I was a decent student as well. I got good marks, and eventually I did get into a college. Now, in my days, I'm talking about 1993, Vijaya College in Bangalore was doing very, very well. Anybody who was a science student would want to go and study there. So I got a seat on merit. Awesome. But the question was, why did I take up science? Because my marks were good. In those days, they said if you scored above 80%, science is for you. If you're in 60 to 70%, commerce is for you. And if you score below 60%, then you go to arts. That's how we were in those days. Pathetic way of doing it, but that's the way it was. So I picked up science not because I knew anything about science. I picked up science because my marks were good. I picked up science because my friends took up science. I was a biology student and I changed over to electronics because my friends took electronics. Can you believe the number of mistakes I did? Fair deal. Then I got to smoking and drinking and bunking my classes, and I messed up my life totally. When my parents asked me, Rahul, why are you doing that? I said, Dad, Mom, after 12th standard, I'm going to US for my studies after all. So let me have fun. I've been a great student all my life and I can still bounce back. But this time, the mistake was so grave that I was not attending my classes, and therefore I didn't even know the fundamentals. And therefore, there was only one way, and that was to fail. And I failed. Now, failing was okay. The problem was, how will I pass and what all will happen? So when I failed, my dad did not speak to me for 6 months. And the reason for that is because all my brothers and sisters' education could not be completed because we didn't have enough money at home. So everybody said, let's Rahul study. So I was the only guy who completed, who went into 12th standard. All my brothers and sisters gave up before 10th because we didn't have money at home. So everybody's hope was on Rahul Kapoor. That's me. And I messed up. When I failed, the first thing that happened was my dad stopped talking to me and he said, Rahul, you've let me down. My mom and dad were both crying for me. And my brother said, Rahul doesn't deserve a second chance. This guy has messed it up. I remember even today, my dad coming to me and saying, Rahul, I'll not talk to you till your exams, till you pass in your exams again. And he didn't speak to me for 6 months. I loved my dad so much. I wanted to go hug him and kiss him. I would touch his feet, but he would bless me, but he would never talk to me. Tough days for me. So I had to pass exams. There is no other way. But the problem was I hated my subjects and I was scared of them. I just didn't understand anything because I had no background. I open my chemistry book and I go to sleep in 15 minutes time. I think of studying maths and I would go to sleep. Just thinking of maths because I would be so scared. I had no hope what is going to happen to my life. Two people changed my life. One was T. Ramesh, my teacher, electronics teacher, who said he'll teach me. And one was Mr. Ashok. He was the customs officer, but interestingly, he was also the landlord of my house where I was staying. So when I failed and I was depressed and all of that, I had a chance to speak to him and he spoke to me and he asked me, Rahul, what's the problem? I said, sir, I just can't study. These subjects don't enter my brain at all. So he asked me, is there any other way for you where you can just skip these exams and go back to 10th standard, 11th standard again and do commerce? I said, no, I will lose 2 years. I can't do it. So he said, what does it mean then? 6 months of hard work? I said, yeah. So he said, I'll teach you a technique. Try it out. I'm going to teach you the technique now. Okay. And I tried the technique. It still works for me. About 20, 30 years after my exams, it still works for me. I'm sure it's going to work for you as well. So he said, close your eyes. And I closed. He said, now I want to ask you a question. So what is it? He said, I want to think of a person who's not very successful. So I closed my eyes and I said, I don't know anybody like that. He said, come on, Rahul, shut up and be serious. Close your eyes and think. Do you know anybody around your area, anybody on TV or anybody in your family, friend circle, something? So I closed my eyes again and I said, okay, look, I know some person. He said, who's that? I said, the guy who lives down my street. He doesn't study very well. I mean, he's a 30-year-old man. He doesn't have a good education. He doesn't have a good career. He drinks. He's always shabby. His hair's, always full of dandruff. He's smelling of alcohol. I said, okay, very nice. Close your eyes and visualize him. So I closed my eyes and I visualized him. He said, okay, fine, open your eyes. I opened. He closed your eyes again. I closed. He said, now visualize yourself like that, like you, the guy who doesn't have good education, doesn't have a good job. People are laughing at you. Nobody takes you serious. You're smelling, you have dandruff. I opened my eyes and said, no, that's not possible. He said, shut up and close your eyes and do it. I closed my eyes and said, look, I just can't. He says, do it. I said, why can't? Why can't you think? I said, look, because I know I have my dad, my mom, they'll take care of me. He said, now, what's the guarantee you have your mom and dad with you next 2 years from now, 3 years from now? What if they're not there? I said, that can't be possible. He said, give me a guarantee. I said, I can't give you a guarantee. He said, you bloody shut up then and close your eyes. And I closed my eyes. He said, visualize yourself. And I saw myself. And I just hated it. I just couldn't believe I can be like that. I started sweating out. He said, open your eyes now. I opened. He said, now go back to your books. Start studying. And every time you feel like sleeping, close your eyes and scare yourself. Every time you don't feel like studying, every time you feel sleepy, every time you're distracted, do that. I said, I'm not sure whether this is going to work. He said, just do it. But boys and girls, I tried to do it. I opened my chemistry book. My mind just wouldn't work. It just wouldn't work. I would feel sleepy. But my commitment was 50 minutes, I am going to sit. But the first minute of the 50 minute was, I would scare myself, say, I don't want to be like that. And I want to study. And boom, 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 I'm there. I had my teacher who clarified my doubts, who helped me with tuitions and stuff. And I had this technique. Boom, 50-10 technique was working, scaring the self working. Teacher was there to work with, and everything started working so well. Boys and girls, 6 months, I passed my exams. My dad spoke to me. He gifted me a watch and said, Rahul, this watch, I still have that watch, Casio watch. He gave me the watch and said, now remember that you passed your exams. Every minute of your life counts. Don't waste it. This watch will remind you of the tough time that you had and the good time that you can have as well. I lost my dad 3 years after that due to cancer. I'm going to talk about that towards the end, but I wanted to know that I passed my exams and that changed my life forever. Technique number three, scare yourself. If this makes sense to you, go to the chat box, share with me your views. No, Andrew, he was not bullying me. That guy really cared for me. He cared for my life and he cared for my success. That guy changed my life forever. These are techniques people use sometimes to motivate you. Fear is a way of motivating yourself, but I'm not saying you should become like a maniac to keep scaring yourself. That is called positive psychology. And that's what he tried with me, right? Try the technique tomorrow and see yourself if you're not able to study what happens. Technique number 4, this is my lovely favorite fun technique. It's called spring out. Okay, the technique is called spring out. Let me share with you how this technique works. I want you all to show me your seating arrangement. Now, if your videos are on, we'll have a lot of fun. Now, I want you to, if you have a headphone or something like that, then remove your headphone off. If you're sitting on a chair, then just move your chair slightly behind. Okay, move your chair slightly behind. And I'm going to take one person as an example to show you how the technique works. I also am I'm in a hotel room. I can move around and show you how the technique works in a few minutes when you're on the bed or when you're on a table and so on and so forth. Okay. But I'm going to take one or two volunteers. So let's see if I can take one. I'll take two volunteers. Let me take Ashok. Ashok, are you on a bed or are you on a table? Vijay Ashok Kumar. And I'm going to take a girl, Nidhi Jitesh. Let's take them. If you're on a bed, this technique, you will have to learn how to do it properly, but start off with a chair so you learn the technique properly. Are you on a chair? Vijay Ashok, are you on a chair? Okay, and Nidhi, are you on a chair? Now I want you guys to see them both and see how the technique works. Nidhi, are you on a chair or on the bed? Guys, unmute yourselves, both of you, unmute yourself. Nidhi, unmute. Vijay, unmute. Okay, Vijay, you are Vijay, your dad is Vijay. Who's Vijay in this?
Sir, I'm Vijay, sir.
Okay, hello, sir. What's your name? Your dad?
Ashok Kumar.
Ashok Kumar, what do you do, sir?
I'm working in a company,
And which city are you in?
Muscat.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thanks for being over here. Nidhi, where are you? Sorry?
So I am from Qatar. I'm living in Qatar currently.
In Qatar. Okay. And are you on a chair or are you on a bed?
I'm on a chair.
Okay, brilliant. I want you to move your chair 2 feet back, 1 or 2 feet back. Okay. Now, Vijay and Nidhi, when I say spring out, I want you to just spring out of a chair and show me. Okay. Spring out of a chair and show me. 3, 2, 1. Spring out. Okay. Sit down, guys. Sit down. Nidhi, you just got up like a old lady, and Vijay, you got up. I said spring out. Spring out. You know what I mean? Just see. Let's say if I'm sitting, okay, I'm sitting and I spring out like that. You saw that? 3, 2, 1, spring out. Yep. No, that is still getting out. It's not going to work. The technique is not going to work. Sit down, sit down. Spring out, the technique is called getting out of the gravitational pull of laziness. Getting out of the gravitational pull of laziness. That's laziness. You're watching TV. Okay, you want to get up, but the great cricket match going on, the football match is going on. And you're like, no, I'm going to go after 5 minutes. I'm going to go after 10 minutes. And the 10 minutes become 1 hour, 2 hours. And that precious time of your life is gone. Whether Messi wins, Argentina wins, or whether France loses, your life doesn't change. If India wins or Pakistan wins, your life doesn't change. Your life will be determined with your exams in the next 3 months. And you have to make the right choice. But Rahul, what do I do when I'm stuck with the TV, Netflix, movie, whatever? You got to spring out. Now, remember, guys, Nidhi and Ashok, let's do this together. I want the others to watch this, okay? I am going to use my chair. I'm going to show you how this is happening, right? So I'm going to sit, observe this. Okay, observe, I'm sitting. There we go. Now you see what I do, okay? I have a table in front of me. I'm just going to push it so a little bit. I get some space here. Okay, now see what I do, okay? 3, 2, 1, and I spring out. You saw that? That's like a jump. See this? I'll do this again. 3, 2, 1, and I spring out. Okay, guys, try it now. Vijay and Nidhi, give me the best, okay? Don't compromise. 3, 2, 1, spring out. Go, 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 go. You got it. No, guys, come on. What's wrong with you? You're getting up, and I'm saying spring up. I'm saying spring up. Your legs have to go out of the ground and come back in. See, it's like this. It's almost like jumping out, right? And 2 times. Do it now. Final time, Vijay and Nidhi, don't go wrong. Come on. 3 to 1. Spring up. Come on. Spring up, spring up, spring up. Yeah, you got it right. Yes. Yes, Ashok, you got it almost right. Vijay, you got it almost right there. But you need to spring out. What is this technique all about? How does this technique help? It's one of the most fabulously researched technique of psychology. When our body is not connected with sharpness, with focus, what we can do is we can shift the energy in the body. This is called moving from alpha wave to beta wave. So you kind of really get sharp and alert. Alpha wave and beta wave are here in your brain. Now, when you're watching TV, you're feeling lazy, you don't feel like studying, you're talking to your friends, you're on sofa, you're reading a newspaper, but you have to study, Close your eyes and visualize and tell yourself, hey, listen, I want to be cool. And real meaning of being cool is not sitting here. Second technique, push it in, scare yourself. Boy, I need to get up. I need to start studying. Talk to yourself. I need to go. And then don't get up, spring out. Likewise, in the morning when you wake up, you get up like, I have to study. It's 4:30 in the morning, dude. I can't believe. You go brush your teeth. You go back to study and you go to sleep like that. It's not going to work. The technique is very simple. When you're lying down, you're going to tell yourself, so when your alarm is gone and you've woken up, you tell yourself, hey, I need to get up. I need to get up. I need to get up. I need to make sense. Scare yourself if you want to. Technique 1, if you want to, visualize and tell yourself that you want to be cool. And then 3, 2, 1, when you're getting out of the bed, don't get out of the bed like, oh, not like that. You got to tell yourself, be alert, and then spring out of the bed. Spring out of the bed like that. Boom, like out. I told one guy to try this technique. His house was very small. He was on the bed. His brother was on the floor and he sprang up on his brother. His brother goes, I'm joking. But the technique really works. It's a fabulous technique. It just shifts the energy in the body and gets you on a really good start. Have you ever seen cricketers who come to play? They come into the ground and this is how they go. They come and they do this and they jump a little like this. Have you seen them? Yes or no? Yeah. Have you seen Amitabh Bachchan in Kaun Banega Crorepati? He comes and if you seen him, this is how he starts. Deviyo Sajjano, aap sabka bahut bahut swagat hai. Main hu Amitabh Bachchan and welcome to Kaun Banega Crore. What's he doing? Shifting the energy. What are the cricketers doing? Shifting the energy. What am I asking you to do? Shift your energy. One of the most beautiful way of starting your work. 4 techniques done. And I want to go ahead and ask you guys. 4 techniques done. Of the 4 so far, I have the best one lying with me right now, plus one bonus technique and some question and answers later. So far, of the 4 techniques, which is your best technique? Which one did you like the most? Go ahead and tell me technique number 1, 2, 3, or 4. Go to the chat box, share with me which technique really made a lot of sense to you. I can see scare yourself, spring out. I do believe those 2 are fantastic techniques. And they're unique, they're new. They're not like from some textbook somewhere, right? Yeah, both are very good. In fact, all 4 are good, but those 2 are really cool ones. Last technique. And this technique has never failed me. This really works, really works. By the way, guys, after my 12th standard exam, any exam I've written thereafter, I've always got a distinction. At 46 years of age, even now, I'm doing courses and every year I take up a course and every year I do extremely well because the techniques are working so beautiful. The last one is my favorite one, the best one. And then we'll do a small exercise to help you kind of channelize your time as well. The last technique. I'll first share with you what this is and then I'll talk about it. Do it for your parents. Let me share this story with you. I'll tell you how to use this technique. I lost my dad 24 years ago. He had cancer. He died in front of my eyes. But something really special happened before his death. I failed in my 12th standard. And just for you to know, I passed and then I went on to do my management. My first year degree, I got a 2nd rank. My 2nd year degree, BBM, I got a 1st rank. And my final year, my exams were yet to be written, but I was doing extremely well because I knew that I had to do something for my parents. I could not see them cry like they cried for me. The reason why I started studying so very well, I'll tell you the reason for that. I was a science student. I wanted to study, but I didn't want to do science. So science was ruled out. I wanted to do commerce, but in India, a science student cannot do commerce straight away, ruled out. So I went for fashion designing for 1 year, but I knew that's not my future, ruled out. Can you imagine the stress and the trauma and the depression in my brain? I went for arts for 1 day and I left the college. I told my parents, I don't know what to do. My dad was kind enough. He got me to do an aptitude test and I got to know that I can be good in management and social work. So I said, okay, that's what I'm going to do. But the thing is, there is no course. Just around that time, there was a new course that was started in India. It was called BBM, Bachelor in Business Management. And Jain University was one of the first institutions to bring that course in India, in Bangalore, in India. And I was lucky enough. I did not know Jain University that time, but just around the corner, there was another college. And I was lucky enough to get a seat in that college. I did management. But how did I get a seat? We went to 17 colleges and not one college gave me a seat. I remember that day when my father went to an IAS officer, he joined his hands, he put his head down and he said, give my son a second chance. And that guy looked at my father and he said, I'm going to ask you for donation. My father said, whatever you want, take it. My brother said, Dad, you can't waste money on Rahul. This guy has bad habits. My dad said, no, I will give a second chance to him. But when he put his head down and he gave the money, that is the day I felt most shameful in my life. I saw my father put his head down in front of some stranger for me. That day I decided I will not smoke, I will not drink. Until date, I've not touched smoking and drinking. That day I decided that all my friends, I'm going to test them and see how many of them are really true friends of mine. I would go out with them but not spend money. I would go out with them but not drink. I would go out with them but not smoke. And a lot of my friends went away from my life except for two. Everybody else was out. And I think that was a great decision to do. I stopped wasting my time with stupid friends who I thought were friends. That day I decided that if my parents can do so much for me, I'm going to dedicate my life for my parents too. And I started focusing on my education. First rank and second rank in first year, first rank in second year, third year, I'm preparing for my exams. And just 4 months before my exams, my dad fell down. We took him to the hospital. We got to know he has esophagus cancer. They cut his stomach, they put a food pipe, and the doctors had told my sister that my dad will not survive for too long, but I was not aware of it. So I was studying for my exams. I got the Outstanding Student of the Year award. I went and gave that to my dad. Dad was very happy. Exams were yet to be written. Dad was in the hospital and something really crazy happened. My exams got over and my father died. And I got angry and I went to the doctor and I held his collar. I wanted to hit him and say, how did my dad die? My sister said, wait, come to me. I want to tell you something. She opened a diary and she said, Rahul, have a look at this diary. And in that diary, there was written, this is the true story of my life. In that diary, she's written that Rahul dad had said that he will not die until your exams get over because you failed once because of your mistake. He doesn't want you to fail because of his death. And he said he will be alive and he was alive till your exams got over. It shook the ground under my feet. I was like, boy, how can a man do so much for a son? And my dad died and I went into my first depression. I lost 17 kilos. I was not going out. I was not talking to people. I did not know what to do with my life. And that's when somebody came and said, Rahul, if that's what your father has done for you, this is the time to bounce back. It took me 6 months to bounce back and that changed my life forever. But ladies and gentlemen, I tell you what really happened is that technique shifted everything in my life. Every single day I would close my eyes and see my father's face and tears would roll down my eyes, but I knew I had to bounce back. And I did one day after the other for the sacrifices of my dad and mom were never forgot. Today, I want to teach you this technique number 5, and I want you all to close your eyes, please. Everybody, close your eyes. Even if you're a parent, just close your eyes and enjoy this technique with me. Just close your eyes. With your eyes closed, I just want you to listen to my voice. Just listen to my voice. Flow with me. Listen to my voice. I want you to close your eyes and visualize your father's face, his smile, his eyes. And tell your dad, Dad, I love you. Thank you so much for all you've given me. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the encouragement. Thank you for the values. Thank you for the food and shelter. Thank you for correcting me. Thank you for guiding me. Thank you for supporting me. I love you, Dad. Thank you for all that you've done for me. I love you, Dad. Thank you. Keep your eyes closed and I want you to visualize. I can see that even as you guys listen to me, there are tears rolling many eyes, but keep your eyes closed. And I want you to visualize your mother, the lady who kept you in the womb for 9 months, the lady who gave you uncompromising love, the lady who stood by you like a rock of Gibraltar, always supporting you and giving you comfort and joy. I want you to visualize your dad and mom together. And visualize the time, how many times in your life were you unwell, you were unable to speak and your parents were awake for you all night. Visualize when you were down and out, when somebody would insult you, put you down, and how a hug from dad and mom would change your life. Visualize your dad and mom and tell them, Dad, I love you. Mom, I love you. Open your eyes, look at me. 24 years ago, I lost my dad. I don't have him with me now. If you have your dad with you, remember, remember, it really matters to have that. If you have, I have my mom with me. My mom is like my God. I lost my mom. I lost my dad, but I have my mom. I take her blessings every day. I give her a kiss. I take her blessings and move on. Once in a year, I wash her feet with milk and water and I drink it. And my mom says, Beta bimar pad jayega. I tell my mom, you all given me this life, even if I die, it doesn't really matter. But I really tell you what happens when you connect with your source, some incredible power generates in you and you achieve great success. I know that not all of us are lucky to have dad and mom who are loving and caring. Sometimes they have tremendous fights among themselves. I do know there might be one or two of you who may not have had a great experience with your father and mom, and I can know how difficult that is for you. In that case, a guru, a teacher, a brother must have helped you. I want to visualize that person and dedicate all your work to that one person whom you really love. Because it is said that human beings really play a very different level of game when they dedicate their work to someone else. And when we dedicate our work to someone else, we don't compromise. Like, for example, I wouldn't compromise, come what may. My only purpose in life is to inspire people and help them to live a great life because I saw my dad die. And I know how many sacrifices my dad made for me. And therefore, I'm speaking about dad. But you can replace dad with guru, friend, teacher, whoever has given you the best of everything and dedicate the next few months for them. And every time you feel getting distracted, you know you can't achieve success, close your eyes, visualize the person, and dedicate the work to that, and that should help. I hope this is making sense. Really hope this is making sense to you. And guys, remember, this one beautiful life. Next few months are the most crucial months of your life. I've given you scientific techniques. I've given you psychological techniques on day 1 and day 2. Last one was the only emotional technique. Rahul, why do you use an emotional technique? Because it works. I remember when Sachin Tendulkar lost his father, he came to India while he was playing the World Cup. He saw his dad's ceremony and he went back and he told Ravi Shastri that in case I score a century today, do announce that I'm dedicating this to my dad. And he actually did score a century in that match against Zimbabwe. And he said, I dedicate this to my dad. Well, ladies and gentlemen, with this, I come to the end of all the 5 techniques. With a few minutes to go, I have a bonus technique to give you as well. But before I give you the bonus technique, here are your top 5 techniques. Week is equals to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Become cool, scare yourself, spring out and do it for your parents. If you really see these techniques that I've shared with you are not just techniques that have worked for me, they've worked for a tremendous number of people around the world. And I know this works because I've tried them too. I have one last thing to tell you, and that is discipline. Next few months, discipline is everything. And how do you get into this mode of discipline? Right now, if you have a pen and paper, all of you, if you have a pen and paper, or you can go to the chat box and identify which is your major time waster right now. Where do you waste your time? By lazing around, by sleeping too much, watching too much of TV, by postponing things, by anything that you feel that you're doing that distracts you the most. Go to the chat box and tell me, maybe easier, what is your biggest time waster right now? What is your biggest time waster? Akanksha, please do not send anything until unless I ask you to. It's going to just distract people. Allow me to go this, please. Okay, what's your biggest distraction right now? Okay, I can see phone, Netflix, screen, TV, football, sleep, watching TV, games, fair deal. All right. Now, I want you to have a look. I want you to have a look and see what's the next message I have for you. Once you've identified your time waster, ask yourself, why is it a problem? Now, type and tell me in the chat box, why is that a problem? What is the actual concern when you say TV, sleep, games? What happens? Yeah. Dharmi Sagar says, my brain, as I'm overthinking my phone as well. All right. So you're overthinking. Right. Move on. Why is it a problem? I'm not really productive. Why is it a problem? I get addicted to it. Great, Aaron. Why is it a problem? I don't stop using the phone. Brilliant. Keep it going. Keep it going. Addictive. Keep going. Keep going. All right. Addiction. Now, you know the problem and you also know why is it a problem. So guys, when you already are in those first 2 phases, third one is simple. Take some action. Because if you don't take action in the next 2 or 3 months that you have, for the next 2 or 3 months you have, then you're in bad scene. So guys, what do? So you need to know the way to take action is replace that habit. So every time you feel like watching TV, or you guys want on your phone or Netflix, you'll have to replace that action, and you'll have to make a choice now. And the choice could be that the moment you get into this time waster, close your eyes and tell yourself any one of the techniques, scare yourself, become cool, or you just spring out, use any one of the 4 or 5 techniques I've taught you and bounce back immediately. It's like a rebound action immediately. The moment you know Netflix it is, talk to yourself, no, I can't do this. Use technique number 1. I need to be cool. I need to do it for my parents. Come on, get up and spring out. The moment you spring out, the first thing you'll do is to hold the book and make a commitment. 50-10 strategy, I'm not getting out. Your body is going to retaliate. Your mind's going to retaliate. But do it. Because if you don't do it, you're in trouble. And then when you're in trouble, nobody can save you. With the time running out, I've completed all the techniques for you. Before I take the question answers, what I'm going to say is, let's quickly go back to the slide deck and share with you this. The guys, in case you wish to learn more and you want to be in touch with me, before you can do all of that, remember the final 3-4 months of work is only fighting against your own self. This is you, this is your boredom, this is your procrastination, this is your distraction, this is your Netflix, this is your sleeping, this is your bad friends. Guys, if you don't fight the dark side of your life, you cannot achieve success. Next few months are most crucial. Remember, success will not come like this steadily. There will be ups and downs. Continue with the ups and downs. Don't give up because you have no choice, but do well. This is the way you can be in touch with me. Rahul Kapoor Live. And these are my contact details. I can see some chat box. Some parents want to talk to me. They want to get in touch with me. Please write an email or message to me and I will talk to you. But right now in this forum, I cannot talk to you privately. I can see messages where you're saying that you want to talk to me privately. Here are the contact details. Before I take the questions, today we bring this program to you on behalf of JNU University. Students, writing the exam is important. Career is even more important. So as you guys go ahead and build yourself for a future, my suggestion to you is you should look at 3 things before you build a career. Number 1, the college you study in is very crucial. The city you go in is going to be important because the way you're going to develop yourself. You should always know what kind of a college you're going to. Is that college accredited in the right way? Is the certificate really valid? Are they really good? Do they really offer new age, cutting edge technology based courses? And if you believe that you're in the right place, do they have the right facilities, do they have the right kind of environment, then I think you should make a choice. Not a choice which is based on safety, security only, because then you might be in a small village in some place or small town in some place. But I think you should take your choices by educating yourself, take informed decisions. I believe that there are great universities. JNU University is one of them. It could be a great choice for you as well in the future, but that's your own choice. Right now, we are proud to have brought this course for all of you because we at JNU University believe that you matter. And it's been my privilege to bring to you these 3 days of program. So let me share with you what is the 4 vision technique. Revision means doing it again. Vision to see, revision to re-see, that's revision. I use the technique called 4 vision. I'm saying, guys, first two times, go through your book and read them out. So you do revision 1, revision 2. Third revision is you revise by writing. So question papers must be solved using a pen and paper. The same pen that you're going to write in the exam, use the same pen and continue practicing with that. Go with the speed and time yourself for every question answer. So you get used to writing, and therefore your writing speed increases and your ability to practice for writing an exam also improves. Fourth technique, and the fourth one is called visualization. I explained to you that last time, I'll do it again. That is, once you finish 3 times revision, you're going to go on bed and you go to sleep. As you're sleeping in the night, you're going to ask yourself certain questions and try to get answers by visualizing the answers. When you can't find the answer, you're going to leave your bed, go to the table, read that particular answer, come back to sleep again. Again, you continue visualizing the next question. If you have the answer, good. If you don't have the answer, get up and go. As you repeat the process 2 to 3 times, you will go to sleep. And as you go to sleep, your brain is only going to think of that subject. So you wake up in the morning and revise one more time. That is how you will get incredible success. When you go to write your exams, you don't even have to revise a day before the exam because all the content will be in your brain and your ability to write and recall will be tremendous. This is what the technique is all about. In case you want, I'll make a video on this and also share with you in the next week. So you guys do have a video available. Which reminds me, Saurabh, you're supposed to come to the room so we can do also a quick video based on what we've discussed so far. Somebody said you want to know about the W is equals to MTW TFFS. Guys, that is work for 6.5 days. So there is no full Sunday off or a Friday off if you're in UAE. You need to work for 6.5 days a week. For the next 3 months until the exams get over, we cannot afford a holiday. We just need to work together. Okay, guys, so I've shared with you everything. We've taken about 4-5 minutes extra, but I will still be here because this is our last day, our final day. We had to fill forms, we had to take questions. So I'm going to continue being here for another 5 minutes or so. Let's take the questions, please. Akanksha, go for the questions.
Yes. One question we do have is,
in Akanksha also online, yes.
yes, how to not be lazy and procrastinate after waking up in the morning, even after having 8 to 9 hours of sleep.
Firstly, 8 to 9 hours of sleep is too much. It is going to make you lazy. So don't sleep for 8 to 9 hours. You can't afford it anyway. Maximum you can afford is 7 hours of sleep, 6.5 to 7 hours. You don't need more than that. What you need is you need more rest. So you need, let's say, 9 hours of rest. That's okay. So that's why I said sleep before 12 o'clock, because every hour before 12 will give you 2 hours of rest. So sleep by 9:30, 10, and then wake up early. 6.5 hours, max 7 hours is like too much. 8 to 9 hours, I promise you, you're messing up. Don't sleep so much. If you really want to, in the evening, in the afternoon, you can take a 10 minutes nap or a 20 minutes nap because you've woken up early. Otherwise, you don't need that nap also, right? Now, the other question you're asking me here is, what do I do? How do I not be lazy? Spring out technique. I've already explained that to you. And the moment you spring out, immediately, if that is not working alone, then use it in the combination of scare yourself and spring out. And then sit on the table, 50-10 technique, you're not going to get up. It will be difficult, but you'll have to get on with it. There is no other magic formula. These are amazing techniques. Use them. Next question.
Yes, another question is, he's asking, I should reduce the amount of intake sweet before exam because my mom says it's not good for brain, especially chocolate.
Say what? Should I what?
He's asking about should he reduce the amount of intaking sweet before exam, sweets, chocolate.
Sweets before exams. Now, you see, anything in excess is not good. If you want anything in excess at all during exams, I believe that fruits, juices, water, and salads, they are the best intake. You don't, I mean, you can overeat them, it doesn't really matter. Chocolates, I know some people do have this thing that if I eat a chocolate, I'll feel better. I agree. I agree only in the case where you're not used to drinking water, fruits, juices, then it might be the case. Taking some glucose in water is a good thing. Taking lime juice, hot lemon juice with salt is a great idea once a day. One lemon juice, if you're in a hot country, good idea. Orange juice is brilliant. Orange juice really works. There's this vitamin C tablets, chewable tablets. You guys know that? Vitamin C chewable tablets, limb seeds called. Take those tablets. They're fantastic. They really keep you alive. So replace your chocolates with limb C. Replace your Coke and Pepsi. Avoid it totally. Coffee and tea. A lot of people believe coffee, tea helps. I do know this, that if you're not used to it, then you still rely on it. But I completely prohibit coffee, tea because that's caffeine. If you can use the techniques that I've told you, meditation, exercises, fruits, juices, music, family, playing. If you just do all this, you can easily knock off the coffee, tea, Red Bull, the chocolates, they can go out. But if you still like chocolate, like today, for example, I wanted to eat a chocolate and I did have 2 pieces. That's fine, but not too much of sweets. It's terrible. And those sweets that you make at home, or those Bengali sweets and those Indian sweets, prohibited. I mean, I wouldn't even touch them. Next one.
How many hours should we study in average?
If you go with the technique that I've taught you, 50-10, 50-10, then you can do it in blocks. You can do 2 blocks of 50-10, or you can do 3 blocks. 3 is what I would recommend. So when you wake up in the morning, let's say 5:30, for example, So you're doing a 5:30, you do a 5:30, 6:30, 7:30, and then you can get on with your, bath and whatever. Because I think schools will now close. You'll have time to study, right? So you do 3 blocks, 3 hours. You take a 1 hour break, do whatever you want to do, breakfast and stuff. Do another 2 or 3 hours block. Then do another 2 or 3 hours block. If you go with the technique that I'm teaching you, you will not get tired easily. You can easily fit in 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 hours of work. For example, today I was up at about 4:30, but I chose not to get up early because I haven't completed my sleep. And today, this is my third session. I'm in Surat. I did a session in the morning for 100 people, another one for 250 people here, live session, and now I'm doing a session with you. And I'll be awake for another 1 hour because I want to do my meditation before I go to sleep. I typically go to sleep by 10, 10:30. But because of these sessions here in UAE, the time zone is different. So I'm awake a little extra, but I would do that. So on a normal day, someone like me, on a normal day, I'm putting 12 to 14 hours just to do my work. When I go for meditation, I do 10 days of meditation, 240 hours of silence, and per day I do 10 hours of meditation. How I do that is in blocks of 2 hours, 3 hours, 2 hours, and 3 hours. So I personally feel putting in 10 to 14 hours, if you use the techniques that I've told you, will be very easy. I mean, you'll not get tired. In fact, you'll be rejuvenated. You'll not get stressed. You'll feel happy doing it. If you use the techniques, try and see. But you can't study for 3 hours together. If you study for 3 hours together, then your body will not take it. If you don't have the clean table space and you're sitting on your bed and studying, your body will not take it. If you're not having water or the right fruit, then your body will not take it. So everything I'm saying has to work together for it to work really well. Thanks for the question. Next one.
Yeah. Is keeping a timetable a good idea?
Yes, I can also see about group studies and timetables and stuff. Look, timetable is good, but what I have noticed in my life, I mean, some of the students who work with me, like some parents come to me and hand over the children to me and say, Rahul, please help my child. And I don't teach them how to make timetables and stuff. I teach them how to use their brains. And most of the kids who work with me, are preparing for some international examination, or they want to do the law and they're competing with a lot of people. Most of them do very, very well, extremely well. I'm very proud of that. But I don't recall me teaching people how to make timetable to anybody at all. I ask parents to help the child with the timetables. Why? Because you as a father and mother know better than I know what a child needs. I am a mindset coach. My job is to help you understand how your energy works, how your body works, how your concentration focus works. That's what I do with cricketers and film stars and others who I work with, and leaders in companies. But what I should recommend to all of you is that there is no one way of doing a timetable that will work for everybody. Each one of you have a different time zone, different environment at home. Some of you living in a small house where at a particular time your mom is cooking food and it's noisy. Some of you may have brothers and sisters and they might be distracting you. So how will a technique work for you? My suggestion is use the 50-10, go in blocks of 3 hours and 2 hours. You can go to library and study. You can sit at home. Home is the best place in my opinion. You can study where you want to, but study alone, not as a group. Now, that is a big one. My own daughter would do a lot of work with a group. You can do doubt clarification in a group. Okay, you can study for, let's say, 3 blocks of 50-10, 50-10, and then you can create 1 block of 50-10 only for group studies and question answers and doubts. That's okay. But not more than that. Because the moment you get into more of that, you're not wasting time. You're not wasting time, but there is a distraction. Somebody's at a different pace, you're at a different pace. I'm not sure how it works. My daughter really believes that group studies works for her, but I've seen her performance goes much, much higher when she's all alone. And yes, group studies can work well if you want to do your doubt clarification and you'll not get distracted. You'll not use Instagram, you'll not use Facebook, you're going to use Zoom sometime. But I do know most of the time it can get distracting. So it is a personal choice you have to make. I've answered 2 questions in one: timetable and group studies. I love questions. Next one. If we have time for 1 or 2 more, maximum.
Yes, one parent has a question. As an Indian, tea is something. By this age, most of us have become used to it. Find it difficult to go one day without tea. So what are the ways they can get used to it?
Sorry, I was reading a question there and I got distracted. Say it again.
Okay. So she's asking, as an Indian, tea is something by this age, most of us have become used to it and find it difficult to go on one day without it. So what are the ways we can get used to it?
Parents, you can continue drinking your tea. I don't have a problem, but don't do it to your children. No, jokes apart. Honestly speaking, I've done it all. There's just the last week. I mean, I don't drink too much of milk and stuff because I fell ill in 2016. And when I was bouncing back, I mean, 17 doctors were trying to cure me. Nobody could cure me. And then I learned all about the brain and the body and the food and the habits. And I changed my life. I'm 46 years of age. You have a look at me. I look very fit and nice. I mean, just see my body, you know. But I just come back from a 1 hour workout. I'm not in Bangalore, I'm in Surat, but I still went to a gym and I did my 1 hour workout. I finished my 1 hour meditation. I have one more to go. So you see, I've really understood how to use my energies. But I was in Gujarat last week. And even now I'm in Gujarat, but I was in Rajasthan, Gujarat for a wedding. And I just love that tea. I mean, oh my God, Rajasthan, Gujarat tea is so good. And you go to down south, the coffee is so extremely good. I come from Bangalore and I just kind of went on with coffee and tea and all of this. I can tell you guys, it feels good for the first 5 minutes because you get a kick. But you drink 6, 7 coffees a day and your body bloats, your stomach bloats, you have gas, you have burps, you feel heavy. This week when I was in Surat, I made a very clear decision. I'm not going to touch milk. And I said, I'm up, I'm out, I'm done with milk for life. I'm not going to touch it. Every day, like today, I had 2 glasses of watermelon juice already. Yesterday, I had 2 glasses of watermelon juice. I had about 2 liters of water, 3 liters of water already. I had 2 fruits apart from that. I've had good soup today. I feel so good and rejuvenated. Right now, the time in India is 11:45, and I've started at 8 o'clock. This is my 14 hour of work, and I still look energetic. So, Madam who was asked the question, it's okay if you have to drink milk or coffee or tea. I'm not going to say no to you. But if you really want to be a high performer, high performance, an athlete or a coach is preparing for high performance. You remember, they're not just running, they're also eating the right diet. And I have got to understand that the kind of milk we get today, not the old Indian milk where the cow was giving you fresh milk, the cow's milk was fresh. Today's milk is contaminated. I would say if you want to live a good, nice, healthy life, stop the milk, stop the tea, stop the coffee, go with green tea, go with herbal teas, go with lemon water, go with fruits, juices. It really helps. Kerala
Yes.
tea is good. Yeah. If you want to go with Kerala tea, which doesn't have too much of milk, that's okay. Yes, ma'am.
One question we do have is, how do we not let stress take over because of our rate of progress is pretty slow?
Look, stress is going to be a part of your life. Nobody can take that away from you. In fact, a human being is blessed with the concept of stress. Stress comes in when we are in fight or flight mode, like a tiger comes in front of you. You can't not be stressed. You have to be stressed. The brain automatically takes you into what we call the fight flight mode. So you immediately get stressed, your breathing becomes fast, your brain goes really alert, your blood rush is really heavy, so that you can deal with that situation for some time. That's okay. But if you continuously keep doing that, not when the tiger is there, but at home with parents, shouting, fighting, screaming, education stress, performance stress, and if you do it for too long, you might get a rank, but you might spoil your health forever. I don't think it's worth it. I know a lot of companies. I deal with corporate clients all around the world. I work with Fortune 500 companies, Apple, Google, Samsung, HP. All of these are my clients. They're scientists, their VPs are my clients. I teach them. But I've realized that if you take too much of stress, you might get some results, but in the long run, it doesn't really help. So you have to learn to de-stress. And that's why I said meditation, exercises, time with friends, families, music. And if you just use the techniques I've said, I think you should be fine. Stress is never going to go. But the way you manage stress can get better. And I've told you how to do that. I wish I can keep talking and talking and talking. There's so many lovely children out here, and there's so many parents out there. I would love to guys learn and improve yourself. Unfortunately, I don't have time today. I have to call it off. I have another session tomorrow morning. I need to prepare for that as well. We've overshot by 20 minutes, but this is the last day I wanted to do it. All the parents, on behalf of Jain University, I would like to thank you all for your time. And the children, thank you so much. Parents, apart from this, there are teachers, principals, and counselors here. Thank you very much for your time as well. At Jain University, our priority is to give you the best that we can, and we're doing it. I will be in GCC countries, hopefully soon again. And maybe in January, if I'm there, you guys can do some live programs. There are people who are asking me, Rahul, if we have to be in touch with you, how do we do it? You can follow me on Instagram, on Facebook, and on YouTube. There are hundreds of videos and podcasts on performance. Please go through them. Rahul Kapoor, Live. Saurabh, put it in the chat box. Rahul Kapoor, Live. That is how you can follow me. Some parents have asked me whether they can do programs with me. Can I coach their students and all that? Write an email to me. That is the best way, and I'll tell you how best we can do. I'm going to give you the email ID one more time. And of course, if you want to do programs, paid programs, right now I don't have any open programs, nor do I have any virtual programs, but JN University and Rahul Kapoor, all of us are working together, and we will be able to bring to you live courses very soon in a couple of months, where you can actually access these programs online. You can repeatedly watch them. There'll be Q&As, there'll be question answer sessions. I'll come live and talk to you as well. It's been an absolute joy and pleasure talking to all of you today. Before I close the session, I want one parent to talk to me. I can see Rachel's father is there. That's pretty exciting. Darshan's father is there. That's amazing. I can see so many parents. Vijay's father is there. It's fabulous. I can see Varun's father there. Thank you very much. If one or two parents can talk to me and tell me what you feel about today's program, I think that will be a great way to close the session. Maybe one or two students can also speak. Parents, if you want to speak, raise your hands up. If any father or mother wants to speak so I can see you. Anybody here? Varun, would your dad like to say a few words? Would he? Okay, take Varun's father online, please. Take Varun's father online, unmute your phone, Varun. We're going to have your dad to talk to me. And then maybe we can go to Darshan's father if he wants to speak. Yeah. Okay. Let's see if I have Varun's father and Varun. Both of you can give me a feedback. Hey, Varun, which city are you in? I can't hear you. Oh, I think your computer is not on. It's not throwing
No,
your
we are from Muscat.
Muscat. Great. And what's your father's name? Sir, what's your name?
Varghese.
How are you, sir, doing? How are you doing today?
Fine.
How much of the session did you attend today?
Actually, today only I joined. Yesterday he joined half. He had a class.
Okay.
So, it was a brilliant experience. See, whatever I want to share with him, that is the one you shared. It was very great, sir. If I was not attend this, it was a very big loss. Really upset you.
Thank you, Mr. Varghese. It's a
Thank you
pleasure
very much.
knowing
Thank
you
you
and
very
good
much.
talking to you. Do
Yeah.
stay connected on social media, and whatever I can do for your child, I will be more than happy to do it, sir.
Oh, of course, sir. Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you,
Thank you
sir.
so much.
Thank you. Let's talk to another parent. Do we have anybody else? Saurabh, Rachel, does your father want to speak? Or Darshan, your father, can they speak? Rachel, can I put you on? That's a yes. Your father's not, he's there. Yes. Okay, fine. Put Rachel on, please. First, I'm going to talk to Rachel's father, and then I'll talk to you, Rachel. Sir, what's your name?
My name is Aaron Fernandez.
Which city are you in, sir?
I'm in Sharjah at the moment.
Brilliant.
I work in Perth, but I commute all the way to Sharjah. It's a pain to come and go, but then you need to.
Traffic can be a problem. What do you think of today's session, sir?
Actually, I joined a bit late because I just came in from the work, but whatever I could hear is exactly what we used to pester her with and to follow. Procrastination, late sleeping, phone, blah, 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 everything. And the way you put it, I think from a third person perspective, now she knows what we were saying for her was definitely what should have been done. I mean, it's a good thing that, she knows now that this is really the world she has to enter into. She has to stand for her own self and do her studies on her own, which is what this session will help her to do as well.
I tell you what, I have a daughter of the same age, and I know how fathers feel, right? I mean, we want our children to do well. We want the best for them. We want them to focus and whatnot. But yeah, sometimes it's always good that professionals like us speak, because we know both sides. I'm a father too, and I'm a professional. So, I understand the mind, and I understand the parents' mind too. Thanks for talking to us, sir.
We don't put any pressure on her. It's just that we need her to learn. I always keep telling her, learning is more important than the study. Study automatically